longevity is not necessarily simply hereditary or a coincidence. Sometimes it's necessary to look towards our future and plan how we'd like to live. Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another diamond moment. The diamonds of our lives are produced through time, heat, and pressure, but it is up to us to gather the value from these experiences in order to grow in our lives. If the messages that I've been giving have enlightened you or helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share. Our topic today is putting our plan together, but this time from the physical perspective. We've been talking about the fact that we are spiritual beings. We are all the same. We're made the same. We were designed the same. And in that, hereditary issues may play a part in our longevity, but there is a portion that is for us to determine. I suggest using your Diamond Journey Journal, Becoming is a Process, and a Process Has Stages by me, Dr. Anita McLaughlin, to capture your spiritual, financial, social, emotional, and physical thoughts and plans, and to make a plan for moving forward. This is a one-year journal without dates. You simply start the day you receive it, setting small, monthly, weekly, and daily tasks, which will move you forward until you reach the day you began the journey the following year. So get your journal, write down your thoughts, and let's get started. We have been looking at the various age levels and the stages of life that we all go through as we're looking at those emotional, social, physical, financial, and spiritual development that we all have. And as we look towards our life, there's a plan that needs to be made. And we need to begin at an early age. We only have this one container that contains our spiritual self, the energy that is us, that vibration that is us. We've talked about our body being a receiver. We said that if we could imagine that God was the broadcast tower sending out a signal, and that our vibrational spirit man, higher self, is connecting to that vibrational signal being sent, that it is our bodies that picks up the signal and translates many times that information to us. And because we have just this one physical receiver in which to get the downloads from source and creator, we need to be mindful of the way that we handle our bodies. We need to be aware from an early age that unnecessary wear and tear on this body will lead you to a place where there's nothing left for it to give. The way that we eat has a direct correlation with the way that we feel many times and the way that our bodies respond in this life. I had the opportunity of speaking to a group of people recently, and I asked this question. I said, if you were around your family and maybe you had diabetes and everyone was eating cake and they wanted you to eat cake, would you do that? And the responses varied, but one person said yes, they'd still eat it because it was more important for them to go along with the family than it was for them to look out for their own health. I want to, again, go back to, as we said, vulnerability. I want to be accepted. And so because I want to be accepted, I'm willing to do whatever everybody else does so that I can be accepted. And sometimes that is exactly the way that drug abuse happens, that alcoholism begins, that obesity begins. Because we're trying to be like everyone else instead of realizing that we are unique individuals, that we were made in a very wonderful way, that our bodies function a particular way. And if we continue to demand that it function the way we say, the outcome may not be what we were hoping for. When we are sharing with our families and with our children, are we just doing what they used to do years ago, and the answer to every question is because I said so? Or do we share with them a way to look at the future in light of the present? Do we share with them what the possibilities are if we beat up and abuse our little body, our receiver, and later on in life, there's no more longevity left in it? It's necessary for us to plan how we want to live our senior years if we believe that we will live into our senior years. We have to be able to correct even familial eating patterns. I remember a stage in this country when supersize came into being, and it became normal to overeat. It became normal to not exercise. I remember a point in time when all kids went outside to play. You know, they talk about it that people had to be home when the street light came on. But up until that point, if they'd done their homework, at least in my home, if you'd done your homework and did what was necessary at home, you could go outside and be outside and just be with your friends and whatever that entailed. I remember when our societies became more dangerous and children were no longer allowed to just go outside and be kids. They had to be in. I remember hearing this term called a play date, where your parents would get together with other parents and one of them would take you to a location, a park or whatever, and they would be there, and that's how you got an opportunity to play. So what we're dealing with right now is, again, a generation of children that maybe didn't get an opportunity to just go outside and be kids. They developed a more sedentary lifestyle. And in doing so, what does that do for longevity? If we indulge every supersized meal and if we move in that direction, what does it do to our physical bodies? If we continue eating sweets when we've developed a disease that should limit the amount of sweets that we have, what does that do to our longevity? If we have developed high blood pressure, we're asked to limit our salt intake because it constricts the blood vessels. And we say, I don't like the way it tastes, so I'm putting some more salt on it. What does that do to our longevity? If we don't move around, if we don't get any exercise at all, what does that do to our longevity? I work in an environment that has seniors. And one of the main causes of injury is falls. And most of us have heard it said that you could break your hip and die, but they don't really know why. Primarily, it's because it takes so much energy to heal a hip wound that the body is not able to survive it. But if we stay resilient and moving around, we're much less likely to fall because we still have a good sense of balance. Our bodies and our muscles are still strong. And so as we move forward in life, we have to take into consideration that yes, you may be 18 to 30 now, but you won't always be if you're planning for longevity. Sure, you may be 31 to 55, but have you corrected some of the mistakes of your past on the way that you have lived in this physical body? Have you taken seriously wanting to reduce your weight, not because you want to be a model, but because it's easier on your legs, on your knees, and your hips and your joints? Maybe it will help you to get around more. Maybe you'll feel better. Maybe you'll feel less vulnerable and more like entering into situations that may have caused you to feel shame in the past. If you are paying attention to your health, to your eating, to your mindset, with an emphasis on longevity, it becomes a lot easier to do what's best for you. We're all the same. We're made the same way. Everybody has this body that we have to maintain if we desire to have longevity. Remember that it's up to you to put into use the things that we're sharing. If you haven't put together a plan for longevity, this would be a good time to do it. Sit down with your journal. Decide in small goals what you'd like to do. You don't have to walk 10 miles a day on your first day. You don't have to do and join a gym on your first day. Sometimes it's just necessary to get up and maybe just walk around the block. You might start with decreasing the portion size on your plate, or really limiting the salt. Getting rid of the salt. They've been asking you to do it anyway. Begin to change your taste buds so that you don't need as much salt. How about water? Are you drinking enough water? Are you hydrated? How do you take care of your skin? Did you know that your skin is the largest organ on your body? And that keeping your skin clean allows your body to release toxins? There's a lot of things that you can do as seniors, as young people, as young adults that are free, but that would move you forward into accomplishing a physical goal. We're all the same. We all want the same things, but we also have to take responsibility, because many times longevity is up to us. Everything that we do is a process, and that process has stages. Thank you so much for continuing to listen. I hope that the messages that I'm sharing will be a benefit to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And join me next time for another Diamond Moment. We're going to continue moving forward. We're going to continue challenging ourselves to become all that we've ever wanted to be in life.